Good evening, everyone. This is Saturday, the 15th day of November 2025. The former Nigerian head of state, Yakubu Gowon, refused to speak amidst issues of Christian genocide, ethnic cleansing happening in Nigeria, which is particularly from his state, Plateau State. Ever since then, there have been attempts for media houses to interview him, or therefore could not avail. I understand that Yakubu Gowon most of the time have come out in the media. He have said in the past that he fought to keep Nigeria one. And I think I heard him saying one day that he's happy that he was able to keep Nigeria one. And it's only one occasion he lamented, about the issue of civil war, because in my own opinion, I see that the reason why he was lamenting about it, despite him claiming that he made Nigeria one, he fought for the unity, while lamenting at the end. So I discovered that it was because of what is going on in his state and the killings from across the country. Like, the man will be asking himself, is this the country I fought for? Is this the country I led the civil war that killed almost 5 million people? So what is the purpose of fighting the war if people will continue to die like this? But that is not the purpose of this video. You see, in this Gowon state, someone who led Nigeria to fight for civil war that killed almost 5 million people, 64 communities are no-go area. The jihadists has taken over 54 communities. And former Minister of Youth and Sport, Mr. Lalung, Solomon Lalung, he was a minister under Buhari's administration. So he is now coming out to say that it is genocide that is happening in his state. And he made a statement on News Central Television that this is actually what is going on in his state. Now, you see, the silence of Obasanjo since this issue of Christian genocide started, Obasanjo has been mute. I want Obasanjo to speak. You know why I want him to speak? Because he understands how everything started and he allowed Sharia into Nigeria. Obasanjo allowed Sharia into Nigerian constitution. Obasanjo allowed Sharia northern states to have, the condition of the status they have today, which all these terrorists like Boko Haram, they are leveraging on the Sharia law to commit genocide against people who did not believe in Sharia. Either you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, you are anybody whom you are, a moderate Muslims will also be a victim. So this is what is actually going on now. Solomon Lalung is now lamenting about this current situation and what is happening. But you see, as I was saying, I want Obasanjo, I want Gowon, I want Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. I want these people to speak. And the reason why I want them to speak is because these people are the reason why we have all these extremists in Nigeria today. Now, the issue here is this. The killer herdsmen, jihadists, Boko Haram, they have intensified attacks. I said this before in my last video, that from the day Trump made a statement that he is going to come and kill the terrorists in Nigeria, these people have intensified. And in the midst of the intensification, you understand someone like Gumi is already in Turkey saying that a medical doctor told him that the Christians are burying empty casket. Look at how low this man, stood to make such allegation. This video shares more details about what Gumi said.
Controversial Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has accused some Christian groups in Nigeria's Middle Belt of staging fake mass killings to fabricate a genocide narrative. In a statement shared on his verified Facebook page, Gumi claimed that a doctor informed him that certain groups are burying empty coffins and recording the process as if real victims were killed to push the narrative of a Christian genocide. Gumi wrote on Facebook, "A doctor wrote me, do you know that some Middle Belt Christian groups are now staging fake mass killings? They are burying empty coffins and recording the process as if real victims were killed just to push the narrative of a Christian genocide. This is desperation at its peak, a disgrace, manipulating information just to provoke hatred and international sympathy." Gumi further described the genocide allegations as part of what he called a well-orchestrated plan to attack Sharia law and fuel Islamophobia. He urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to summon the U.S. ambassador and demand an official retraction of Trump's threat or consider severing diplomatic ties with the United States. However, Northern Kan President John Hayab has dismissed Gumi's claims, accusing the cleric of lying and manipulation. Rufai, I mean, I'd like for you to tie in both stories. First, the comment from Yusuf Tuga, and also, I mean, this is a serious allegation made by Sheikh Ahmad Gumi.
Please, with due respect, I must have to beg. It's not that hard to tell the truth. There's Christian genocide. People like Sheikh Gumi, from saying that Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed, now they're trying to deny the corpses of people that died.
And I have actually seen videos, Rufai, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you on this one, about the coffins. I have seen open coffins of entire family members, babies, all Christian, being buried.
It has now shown that it's a propaganda people are trying to play. Yeah. But you see, in life, you will be judged by what you did. And we should be careful. Sheikh Gumi, in his propagandish nature, is now saying that these killings never happened, by saying that some of the coffins, or by saying that somebody sent him a message that some of the coffins are not what? That you don't have people in them. He's not going to deny the fact that we're going to say it again, and they might not like it. I don't want to be popular. I want to stand in justice at all times. There's Christian genocide in Nigeria, and please, let's find a way to solve it. Let's not do this propaganda. Let's not pit people against each other. And let's not deny the killings and the pains of Christians. We have to say things the way they are so that the government will solve this problem. The first approach the government took showed that they wanted to go the line of changing the narrative, which was wrong. Nobody's saying anything to spite anybody. We are speaking the truth so that we can get action.
Yes, absolutely.
And Sheikh Gumi saying this is very bad and insightful.
Really insightful.
And I'm shocked that Sheikh Gumi is saying this. Nobody's talking back at him.
Really?
Government is not saying anything. We are just looking.
All right.
It's not fair.
This is unfair, Dr. Bati, really unfair. I mean, I'd like to emphasize the point again that Professor Wole Soyinka made. You weren't here when we took the story where he talked about the fact that the people that are killing the Christians are Islamist extremists. They are not the regular Muslims, they are jihadists. And we have heard this over and over again. Unfortunately, I can't take your call.
This conversation has been on for weeks now as regards, number one, the fact that Nigeria has been placed on the list of country of particular concern. And, of course, this linking to allegations of a perceived or alleged Christian genocide. I mean, for you as a Nigerian, there has been diverse reaction to this, some for, some against. What's your take?
I think that it's about time that an honest conversation is held about the situation in Nigeria and the Nigerian condition, especially life for minorities in Nigeria, life for different tribes in Nigeria, life for Christians in Nigeria. I think an honest conversation needs to be held. And I'm glad that that conversation is happening now, because a lot of the time when these conversations are being held, I've been a part of a lot of peace and conflict resolution committees for Southern Kaduna and the Middle Belt. And none of these things amount to anything, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of insincerity in the conversation. And, Trump's statements have brought the conversation bare for all of us. We have to have that conversation now. And at the moment, I mean, I come from Southern Kaduna. I come from a Christian family in Southern Kaduna, and I know what my people have witnessed. I know what it feels like existing in Southern Kaduna, especially in the last regime, under the last government, under El Rufai. It was a really, really tough time for
Sorry, for the benefit of those watching, can you just give an idea of what you experienced and your family experienced in Southern Kaduna?
My village was attacked a couple of years ago. My village was attacked a couple of years ago, and we're a very small unit. I'm Fanswan. We're a small unit within Southern Kaduna. Southern Kaduna is the larger. There are like 53 tribes in Southern Kaduna, and my village is one of the tribes. Like my village houses one of the tribes. And a couple of years ago in June, armed men stormed our village and just started shooting sporadically. Right? They started shooting, killed a lot of people, and then they burnt houses and they left. And it's this kind of attacks we've been facing. Prior to this, what used to happen is we could be having a peaceful day in Kafanchan, for example, which is the larger place where I come from. We could be having a peaceful day in Kafanchan, and then prayer would be called in the mosque, and we'll just sense, a sense of, okay, this is not the kind of normal prayer that is being called. Something is happening. And then a crisis will start, and our people would have to run, our people would have to push back, our people would have to fight back, people would lose their lives, and then police would come, everybody back to your tent, and life continues like we were not attacked. And it had been happening like that. But after a while, that changed. We were no longer seeing the attacks from the people within the Kafanchan vicinity. We started seeing the attacks from people in the bush. So they were coming from the bushes, attack. It was no longer like riots. It was no longer like the normal crisis we have been experiencing. And if you notice, once these herdsmen attacks and these terrorist attacks took over, the attacks from the city, the crisis reduced, because this is now the new method, or this is the new ways in which these attacks happen to our people. So these people coming from the bushes, they shoot at our people, kill people, burn houses, do what it is they want to do, and they disappear. A lot of the times, our people will also say, look, we are seeing people in the bushes, so we know where they are in the bushes. You will point them out to the military. We know we have seen them here. Nothing will be done. We'll be attacked. Our people have also tried, to arm themselves, make local weapons that they can use for our boys to do vigilante and protect themselves. It's happening in the Northeast. In the Northeast, for example, there is a civilian joint task force. But in the Middle Belt, we've been asking for the longest time, okay, can our people protect themselves? What happens is the military will come in, collect the weapons from our boys, arrest some of our boys are still in jail. From a long time ago, from Buhari's government, some of our boys are still in jail. Arrest our boys, take them away, arrest anybody that's trying to make makeshift weapons to help the people, take them away, and make it look like, attempting to protect ourselves is an art of war. And it just like I said, it has been a lot of insincerity around the conversation, and this has been leading to the death of our people. So the bottom line of all of this, our people are dying. We are
all right, in the Cato, just to put, these attacks that you have mentioned in your community, in your village in southern Kaduna, just to put it within context, are these attacks around religion or tribe? Because, with reference to the allegation of a Christian genocide.
No, I would say in southern Kaduna, for example, we are predominantly Christians in southern Kaduna, and when we would join the peace and conflict resolution committees, for example, you will hear things like, oh, we were attacked in one part of southern Kaduna. Okay, so there are 53 tribes in southern Kaduna, right? Over 53. I've listed them on social media one time. There are over 53 tribes in southern Kaduna. And you claim, for example, that you were attacked in a place like Kagoro. Let's give an example of Kagoro. Why are you attacking Kafanchan? Different tribes, different people. Why are you attacking Kafanchan? What does it have? So the excuses have been so many, but at the bottom of it all is that Christians have been getting killed. And how you would know that this is targeted, religious and tribal, is that, number one, churches are targeted. Our churches are burnt down. Our priests are targeted. Pastors are targeted. It is. This has been going on for so many years. And I would like to point out something that we're not holding in this conversation. Therefore, when these things started, especially like the broader Boko Haram and all of that terrorism started, it started with the Christians first. Those were the people who were first getting attacked. I remember in places like Borno where they would say, oh, Igbo boys cannot do their shop. We, cannot put the mannequins in their shop because it's haram. You cannot do this. You cannot sell this kind of clothes. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Christian neighborhoods were being attacked. I would remember talking to a lot of people and they would be like, oh, no, they're just trying to push Sharia law. They just believe that education is a sin. They are not after anybody. Excuses were made for these people at the time. And I'm wondering why Nigeria is having this conversation without accepting that, this thing happened at that time. We're trying to brush over it. Excuses were made at the time when Boko Haram came out, when it did not look like they were going to be attacking Muslims too. Their first targets, their primary targets used to be Christians before they spread and it became everybody. And now, there's fire on the mountain. So I remember when all of this started, it wasn't just it wasn't everyone, it was a group of people. And it's the same thing in the Middle Belt. You'll be shocked that even on social media, the conversation around bandits and terrorists, when Middle Belt people start saying that we are getting killed, people who are complaining that they are getting killed in places like Zamfara and Katsina will tell us that, yes, we are attacking Fulani people, that is why they are killing us. So even while they are still suffering the killings of bandits, they are still making excuses for bandit killings in areas that are have people who are not like them. And this is a very dangerous part of the conversation. All of this, when you look at all of this, people who make excuses for terrorism, people who are extremists, therefore, which is a problem, a serious problem that we have in northern Nigeria, religious extremism, specifically Islamic extremism. People who are extremists have been allowed to have a field day in Nigeria. Extremism is the founding father of this terrorism.